What's going on? We back. Motor City Sports Talk. It's your boy CJ Goodfellow. We back with another edition of Draft Spotlight. The grind don't stop. So continue to send me your suggestions for players for Draft Spotlight. I'll try to start accommodating them tomorrow. But one of my favorite prospects in the 2019 NFL Draft, Ed Oliver, out of Houston, Texas area, stayed home close to Houston, He swerved Alabama as a five-star recruit, one of the few and proud five-star recruits Houston football program has got over the few years. You probably remember Ed Oliver for the schism or issues he had with the head coach at Houston after the coach told him to remove a team jacket that was only reserved for players that actually play in the football game, because it was said that Ed Oliver exaggerated or lied about an injury because he was preparing to enter the NFL draft and did not want to hurt his NFL stock. So he set out to the end of the year last year, and the coach got mad. Eventually, that coach was fired, as you know, but as you should know. But I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys know. 6'2", 287 pounds, defensive tackle. Obviously, he a little shorter, a little undersized. It's been talked about undersized defensive tackles for years, just as long as it's been talking about undersized quarterbacks. I think John Randall was undersized. I know Aaron Donald is the standard. Don't forget Warren Sapp was an undersized defensive tackle. But they do have advantages being undersized. You get more leverage, and he's a freak athlete. I think I'm not sure, he didn't run the 40 at the combine, but he's just a freak athlete when I turn the film as Aaron Donald. Not saying that he's going to be Aaron Donald. Obviously, the Lions passed up Aaron Donald, and Ndamukong Suh. Aaron Donald could have been there. Cornerstones of their defense for years to come. Obviously, they took Eric Ebron and didn't want to pay Ndamukong Suh and walked. But Ed Oliver is an amazing athlete, amazing football player, made impact plays as a freshman. And at one point in one of his seasons, he had over 20 sacks per 20 tackles per loss. His numbers didn't translate into a lot of big gaudy sack numbers with Houston, but a lot of that is probably because he played at Houston, and it probably was a little bit different for him playing there, and probably didn't get the opportunity. He probably was facing double, triple teams, but of course, the knock on his scouting report is he's small, he can get down block, crack back, whatever the fuck you want to call it, excuse my language, and he can get engulfed, and his height is really, really what's going to scare people away. What really helps him is the fact that guys like John Randall, Warren Sapp, and recently Aaron Donald have thrived with shorter height, and some of these guys have smaller frames as well. But they want to see him get closer to 300 pounds. But he's explosive. When I just did a video talking about the lack of team speed, Ed Oliver boosts your team speed, and he makes plays downfield. It would kind of remind you in Ndamukong Suh rookie year when Kyle Vanden Bosch, for Lions fans that remember, was a defensive end. He had the defensive line hustling. Suh, Vanden Bosch, Fairley was all making tackles 10, 15, 20 yards, down the field. Zeke Janssen, while he was healthy, was able to do that as well and go downfield and run guys down. Ed Oliver makes plays happen, just not impacting the sack numbers that kind of concerning with people, but he causes chaos. He makes big plays. Tackles for loss. He caused a couple fumbles, running guys down the field, 10, 15, 20 yards down the field. Ed Oliver is running people down. He's a freak athlete. Once in a generational type of athlete at the defensive tackle position. Not saying he's a once in a generational football player, but from a freak, nasty, athletic standard, he reminds me of maybe a baby Javon Curse, baby Simeon Weiss from the defensive tackle position. Aaron Donald was also a hell of an athlete. And in my opinion, if the heart issue with Montez Sweat is that critical, and if you don't feel Josh Allen to slide down, I would like to see the Detroit Lions take Ed Oliver. Ed Oliver is a beast. I'm not worried about his frame. Obviously, some durability issues playing on the inside, being a smaller guy. That is problems. But Ed Oliver is a thoroughbred. He's another guy that was rated top of his high school class as a five-star recruit like Deshaun Hand. Yeah. This dude is an animal. He could probably play some defensive end as well in certain defensive schemes. He's just a beast. Fast, twitchy athlete. Makes a move on the inside, and he's at the quarterback. So don't forget, the quickest way from the quarterback is in the interior, not coming from the edge, straight up the middle. And if he can hold up in the run defense, which is probably a knock against him as well, too, with his size. But if he can get to the quarterback and his fast, twitchy twitch muscles can get him to the quarterback and make tackles behind the line of scrimmage, it makes him a valuable weapon for the Lions defense. So I'm big on Ed Oliver. I said it from the beginning. Somebody asked me about him today. I'd be ecstatic if they took Ed Oliver with the 8th pick or somehow moved back and got him. But he's one of the guys that I'm very, very high on, man. And other than character issues, I haven't read too many on him other than the whole jacket incident at Houston I spoke on. But big on Ed Oliver, big on his talent. Not big, but a ton of heart, a lot of hard work, a lot of speed, a lot of athletic ability, and seemed to have a good head on the shoulder from the few interviews I said, but that's hard to tell if he had any incidents behind the scenes that happened in Houston. Let me know what you guys think about Ed Oliver. Motor City Sports Talk, another edition of Draft Spotlight. We're going to keep it moving. We're going to keep banging them out until the draft comes. Appreciate it. Still sprinkling a few free agent spotlights as well. Motor City Sports Talk, your boy CJ Goodfellow. One time for the one time. All my contact information, social media is in the description. We gone.